So here you are at the top of your game, your career is on fire, living his dream, and then you say you got these insane headaches. Describe to me what you were going through.
It was like migraines. I would wake up and I would feel like nauseous sometime or just hazy, or I'm like, why do I feel off? And I'm only assuming because I'm working crazy hours. I was like, oh, it's because I'm working late. But it was mortifying, the way I felt.
You go to the dentist. They say, oh, your blood pressure's off the charts. They rush you to the emergency room.
The dentist was like, your blood pressure is way too high.
Yeah, that you are on the verge of a stroke.
Yeah.
They do a biopsy and they tell you you are in kidney failure, you have kidney disease.
My kidneys were failing for over a year.
This is a good place to take a break, but when we come back, the biopsy that not only would change Brian Kennedy's life forever, but his music and the mission with music. When LA Stories comes right back.
I've worked with Rihanna, Jennifer Hudson, Jonas Brothers, Dolly Parton, got to work with Lady Gaga, and so many more artists. I was a part of telling some of their stories. Now it's time for me to tell my own.
Brian Kennedy, who at the peak of his career, working with the top artists in the business, learns he's very sick.
So it was FSGS. It's the most rare and aggressive form of kidney failure. I had scars on my kidney, and I had 10% function. I was just being, I guess, typical, macho man. I didn't want to put everything out. I thought that was the price of having the success I dreamed of. Like, well, is this the balance? My life's in shambles as far as health, but my career is good. So if I say something to temper it, then maybe. So I didn't feel good about it.
To live in your own body and only see through people is one of the worst feelings anyone can go through. My name is Brian Kennedy, pianist, composer, songwriter, and producer. While living my dream, I was diagnosed with the most rare and aggressive form of kidney disease, FSGS. I was told I was going to die if I didn't take certain precautions, or if I didn't do certain things. I walked keeping it in. No one knew what I dealt with or I was dealing with. People turned their backs on me. I almost gave up. Between war shows and hospitals was my reality.
In your own personal experience, you felt you were discriminated against, not given the proper care because you were black.
Yes, because it was stereotype. Even when I went to the hospital, at the first hospital, one of the doctors was like, why are you at this hospital? I was like, because I live down the street. I was getting harassed because people assume that like all black people are poor, or, because for obvious reasons, right? There's neighborhoods, there's all these structural breakdowns that doesn't serve the community. And I started realizing I was representing not only me, but a whole community. And that's a lot of pressure. When you're the only black person in the room, they say, so black people do like music, or black people do like magic shows. I'm like, no, I'm just a person who likes magic shows. I actually had someone say, if you close your eyes and hear him play the piano, you would think he was white. I was like, is that real? Yeah.
You were like on that journey for 8 years, even though your brother, Kevin Seals, was a perfect match.
All my brothers and sisters was a perfect match.
So what happened here in LA that they turned you down?
I felt like maybe it's a little discrimination, maybe, I don't know. I didn't know the details, but I went to Kansas City and they were able to do it quickly. They was like, that's so strange. You have a living donor who's your brother, which is preferred in any case, and they won't do it. They was like, something's wrong with that. They didn't improve it.
Your wife, she says that her pregnancy was traumatic.
It was very traumatic,
that
literally.
She felt that the doctors did not listen to her.
It's like she was a lab experiment, but thank God that she knew how to speak up for herself.
And it matters sharing your experience because black women have the highest maternal mortality rate in the US, almost 3 times the rate of white women. So your foundation is really hitting a nerve point on some structural racism within the healthcare system.
Yes, it is. And it's helping champions and allies come forward. And that's when we started working with other organizations. I'm like, oh, y'all really want to help? Well, listen close. This is how we do it. And we got task force. We got equity for all. And like, there's some real champions that want to do it.
And you've got these 2 H2H Hits to Healing labs that are opening in LA and in Kansas City.
Yes, yes, indeed. 18th and Vine Historic District to help educate, prep prepare, how to stay healthy, how to collaborate. All we need is the tools and the information, and then at least we can make better decisions from there.
Not only have you come back, you're coming back with some amazing music, but you've also started a foundation which your wife now heads up.
Yes, so Hits to Healing, Health Equity and Music Education. During my experience of everything I went through, I saw all like the disconnects. I was like, if I can do this over again, I would change these things. And so I started working with American Heart Association, National Kidney Foundation, Northwest Kidney Center, NephCure Kidney Foundation. I say, hey, this is my thought as a patient and an African-American male, because there's a disproportionate rates between black and brown, and the general scope of it, it's messaging, it's communication, it's let me tell my story and help build a bridge. So what we do is we reach, we teach, and we connect.
For background purposes, I've worked with NephCure Kidney Foundation, American Kidney Fund. I'm on the board of the American Heart Association, Northwest Kidney Center, like all these different, and the underline of it is health equity, but specifically my story includes kidney health, and I work with a lot of different organizations that would, and even some pharmaceutical companies that are highly interested in amplifying our messaging. And I was like, oh, if we can get the right team together and I can get, some partners in, I know this can be special.